Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Pro Cycling Manager 25. And this series was intended to be kind of a complete beginner's guide to sort of get folks started in how the game works. A few years ago when I bought my first iteration of it, I had no idea where to start, and it was a learning curve. And through some research and the fact that my son was also playing and is pretty sharp and was able to pick up on some things, kind of learned it, and I thought I could transmit that to others who might be interested in it. I know we're coming up on the Tour de France soon. I would expect that there are a few people who pick up the game in light of that. That's actually why I picked it up the first time. I had seen it once or twice, really wasn't interested, and then I had spent a July watching the Tour de France, and I fell in love and picked up the game and have really enjoyed it since. Now, I'm going to ask if you vote. Do you want me to do a playthrough that's more just a standard playthrough, less about trying to find the things to teach? And I'm okay with that. But if you are interested in that, I would like to know, should I do pro cyclist mode or should I do career mode? Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have not had tremendous success at career mode, but I've generally focused on pro cyclists. So if I do a video in its career mode, I'm going to make some mistakes. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes probably. But you'll get to laugh at those. You'll get to say, what was he thinking? And comment on it all you want, as long as you're kind. I do appreciate that. But I don't at all mind constructive criticism. I've been a sports official for many, many years, and that is the only way you learn. Somebody has to tell you you're doing it wrong. So I'm okay with that. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and move forward. I kind of was hoping that we would do one or two more of these where perhaps we get to where I win a race for my team. That would be fantastic. And I know it can be done. I've done it before. So, let's just see where things land. Let's look at this, though. We have contract use. So yes. So what this is something I don't think we've touched on yet this year. If you're new to the game, you are on a contract with a team, and that contract gets renewed at the end of the year, or you can switch to another team. And what this is telling me is I have the opportunity to go and look and see if there are other teams that interest me. So we are in April. This is still very early in the season. Well, I guess technically we're almost halfway through, aren't we? But let's go take a look. And what we can do here is we'll find our team, which is, they call it Radio Papa. I think that's Radio Popular from Portugal. Well, it is from Portugal. And I learned how to say it, I think. My American accent probably blowing it just a little bit, but I hope you'll give me some grace there. Nonetheless, this is the team we're on, and they're very interested in keeping us, and they should be. And they're going to give me 60 points to work with. That is phenomenal. In my playthrough that I'm doing on my own, I'm on this team here, Volker Vessel's cycling team. I'm going to go with the German pronunciation there. And I only get 23 points, and that's it. So 60, that is awesome. There's very few reasons I wouldn't want to continue to pursue this relationship with Radio Papa. You'll notice that there is no option for me to indicate my interest, and that's because effectively my manager's telling me they're going to make you an offer. It's kind of the way I look at it. There's nothing I can do to improve the opportunity there. But what I can do is look at these other ones and see if there's maybe a squad that's a little better. You'll notice I'm only being courted by the continental teams. That's to be expected in my first season. I haven't exactly set the world on fire. And if you have, congratulations, that is great. Just not my play style or capability, apparently. Nonetheless, let's look through here and see if there's any others that interest us. Now, my character is American, and you would think he would probably want to ride on an American team if he could, but none are looking at him right now. So that's fine. My personal favorite team is Education First, primarily because while my son lived in Boston, he would go cycling, and every once in a while he'd run into the team like on a training ride or something like that. He'd get to see them. He didn't really interact with them a whole lot, but it was just one of those things. It was kind of exciting to, you're out there on your cycle, and then a team of professional riders goes flying by you. I can get why that would be kind of get you charged up some. So nonetheless, that's kind of become our default favorite team. And so if I got an offer from them, I would probably pursue it, but I'm not at that level yet. So in the future on this particular playthrough, perhaps that will happen. Nonetheless, as I look through here, what the points do for you, if you're not familiar, this allows you to pick races that you want to be in. It allows you to pick teammates to ride with you that complement you well. And you spend those in the season as you work out your schedule. So some teams are only going to offer 15 points to me. This team is maxing it out at I could use up to 60 points to help them decide my path going forward. I do like that. The other thing to look at is who's actually interested in you. And there is a Polish team that has significant interest in me. It doesn't give a number exactly, but you can kind of get a feel for what's going on there. And then I also do recommend going and looking at the team composition, seeing if there's anybody you actually recognize, because I don't believe it gives you any indication of where you would fall in the hierarchy of the team. You kind of have to figure that out on your own. I'm not recalling there being something that allows me to really do that. So let's come back over here. The only one that really makes good sense for me to chase after is probably, we're going to go with Boster. Boster is probably the best one. I mean, they're offering a lot of points and they're already very interested. I don't know how much I can actually move this needle, but I'm going to go ahead and click here. And what that means is that my agent's going to reach out to them and let them know, hey, he'd like to further talk with you. And what will happen is the interest will go up. Actually, you can see it goes up right there. You can see how much it goes up. And then we'll get to do this. I think we do this every month. And then there is a skill. Let's go ahead and add that back in. And there is a skill. Once we leave this page, I think it's locked in. Maybe it's when we advance a day. But if we come over here, there's a skill in here where having more contacts of interest have greater impact on the agent's work in the spring when he is looking for a team. Well, we are in the spring. He's looking for a team for us. We haven't picked any points in here. So we only get one contract of interest. We can have up to 4. And guess what? We start with 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you get them. So we can get up to 4 contacts of interest, but they are skill points that we have to use in order to do that. Going back to that other screen, as you can see, I no longer have the option. It did when I left the screen. It locked that one in. So the interest on Voster has gone up just a little bit, and that's great. Or actually, I'm sorry, it has not locked in yet. I can still change it if I wish. So once I commit, though, I think it will take that point and it will do its thing. All right, let's go back to the dashboard and let's get a race. Oh, we do have one other email to look at. So we're going to say, oh, it's probably when we say accept, probably just went away and won't have the option to do anything with it again. Let's see, I think it's under rider data contract. Yeah, that locked it in. So that's what did it. We've done 1 contact of interest and it's locked in now when we hit that. So this email basically gives us a little information about what I just talked about, because the emails are oldest on the bottom to newest at the top, and I clicked on the top one first. Sorry about that. We could have read through this, but it basically says you have 1 to 4 contacts that you can spend to increase interest in your skills for that team. We're going to kill that and advance. 5 days to the Tour de Ardennes. The Tour de Ardennes included the very first stage I ever won in Pro Cycling Manager. So I always look forward to that race. That was many years ago at this point, though I don't recall exactly how many years ago, but many years. And then one other thing I want to point out, I'm looking to kind of figure out what these numbers map to. So the pie wedges basically align with how much skill somebody has. And that can be helpful to note that, you know, just having an idea of where those numbers fall, that could be super helpful. So I'm going to have a short video that kind of talks about that a little in the near future, and we'll take a look at that and see what we can glean from the information that they already give us. Okay, looking at this, my teammates, two I don't know anything about yet, Tiago and Yao, I guess. And there's 2 Tiagos. The other one is Leal. I do know something about him. Oh, sorry. The top line always looks like it is the header line to me, and I always misinterpret that as being an empty line. So I don't know anything about Pedro Miguel either. Not a lot to know here. We need to know what kind of, okay, we're looking at a flat race, basically. Okay. There are a couple of climbs. It is a 4-stage tour. And we could go back out to see more of the specifics. So two of the stages are hilly and 2 are flat, including a time trial there. So that works for me. Let's go ahead and continue again. We're going to want to see who my sprinters are. And it looks like I could be it. These are all low. I have no idea what these guys do. So he has all circles here. That I don't know if that indicates that we know nothing about him or he has a lot of potential. I'm not sure which that means. And let's go forward and see where we end up landing. So the magazine doesn't list us anywhere, and that's fine. Wouldn't expect it to yet. We haven't really gotten our legs under us to the point where we are competitive. But let's see what we can do this time with our team, and let's see what they're wanting us to do. And there we have it. And I'm going to pause things so we can read through this. You've got carte blanche. Better take it easy early in the race, but on guard for attacks. It can happen after halfway. Okay, I can do that. And it looks like they really don't have anybody set up to try to win the stage or anything. So we're really wide open here. We can do whatever the heck we want. Now, I also don't have any control over any teammates, so I'm not going to get any help to speak of, at least not yet. Now, it is possible halfway through the race, some of these could unlock anytime during the race. Some of them could suddenly become available to me, and I might want to utilize their skills. I'm not at a level yet where they look to me as a team leader, though, so that's why I don't really have any options there just yet. When we get to level 4 and 5 and 6, you start to see that unlock regularly to the point that you're kind of in charge. It's almost like you're running the team at that point. Okay, just looking through here to see if there's anything unusual. I don't think there is. Whoops, it's not space anymore. Let's go. Now, I usually bump up just a little bit so I don't go flying backwards, but I just stay in the hold position.
You can't have much idea of what's
And we are falling way back, so I might go ahead and say relay. I don't like falling to the very back. I just don't. So once things kind of settle down, we will see that sitting here on hold position will kind of hold us whereabouts we want to be. I want to be sitting maybe in somewhere between 25th and 40th. I don't mind going to the back if we're steady, but like when things start to kind of ebb and flow, all of a sudden you can find yourself 2 minutes behind the peloton with no chance of ever catching it again. And I just don't like that happening. So I tend to stay in the forward third where I can. And we're going to speed things up, and there is wind right in our face, no windshield for us. I don't know if I can encourage my guy to get more in the pack. Kinda. There we go. I don't know if that helps or not. I would have to think it does. They take pretty good consideration of various factors, including where your teammates are. But we'll see. And now I'm going to dial back down to 70. What I have learned is that having too much effort when you're trying to hold position wastes your energy. It uses energy you don't otherwise need to use. So you kind of want to play with it on the low end where you can, and you want to be mindful of when those little bursts happen where everybody starts to take off on you. Might want to have the P key or the pause key or the minus on the keypad ready to stop things if you need to, if it's getting out of hand. But ultimately, that's kind of where you should be putting your concentration. I wonder how slow we can go before we start flashing and falling back. And there you see we slid a little bit back. Not too much though. Starting to use some of the bottom bar there. Bottom bar never comes back, I don't think. Now I'm kind of thinking maybe I am incorrect on that. Maybe they will come back. It's just very difficult to bring that one back. The bars will change colors for when things won't come back, certainly. And now I'm starting to see a little bit of flashing at 54, so I'm going to pick it up. And as you'll notice, I kind of fell to the back half of the middle. My whole team is back there. No idea what our boss is telling them to do. I guess I could go and slide back and sit with them for a while. We're we're a third of the way into the race. Nobody's gotten us water yet. Am I going to have to go get my own water? That might happen. I can play nice and do that. I don't want to do it right before a sprint or a climb. So, oh, somebody got us water. Never mind. I didn't see who it was. I was kind of looking up there at the numbers, and all of a sudden the water bottles were filled. So still sitting at 58. I usually am not comfortable sitting at a number below 70 for this long, but this seems to be working out. And then we're going to have this climb coming up, and there's only 2 on the breakaway. So there are points to be had if we want to try to work that. Where when we get to 5 kilometers, I'm going to go ahead and pause things and decide what I want to do there. And wow, we just blew right through the 5, didn't we? I have a lot of trouble timing my moves in this game. That's something I really need to work on if I want to be better at playing it. I tend to wait a little too long for things like this, where I'm like, well, I want to go after this one. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hit the sneak. It won't start burning until I start the clock again. And then we're going to hit effort, and I'm going to put the effort up to 80. I'm going to go up to 85. We're already in a climb. We see that here. The grade is 3.3. Well, we are going to have a downhill and then a race uphill. And what we will do is go into hill climb, our best stat. We'll go up to 95% effort when we're actually at the steep part there. But for now, we're gonna go to 85, which puts us in mountain. But we're probably going to be in downhill anyway, so no effort lost there, so to speak. So let's get up to 85. And here we go. And I slide right through the pack there. Actually dialing back. I didn't want to completely blow them away. Oh, and you know what? I'm looking at the wrong one, aren't I? So this is important. Down here, you have where the race leaders are in comparison to the finish, to the next mountain stage, and to the next sprint stage. This is what I should have been looking at. Part of the problem is my microphone blocks it a little bit. But the 4 is how far I have to go to get to the top of the next hill climb. The leaders are only a kilometer out, a little more. And that's because they're at the beginning of this box. We're at effectively the end of the box, as there are no trailing groups. So that's something to note. So I mistimed this one too, but that was more because I was watching the wrong number, and that's on me. We're 4 minutes behind them, so we have at least 4 more minutes before we are to that climb. So I'm going to go ahead and back off, but I am up front now, and that's good. We'll let some other folks pull for a bit. And I'm going to watch the right number, and when we get to 2, which is right now I'm going to go ahead and think about it again. Yeah, the leading group is splitting up because there's 2 of them, and they both want the points. But we're going to go to effort, and we are now on that climb, 5.3. We're going to go up to 95 and burn some energy. But we should go sailing past these guys because we're really good at this, and most of the rest of them aren't. Of course, I say that, and then this guy is right on our wheel, isn't he? So I'm going to go ahead and go up to 99 and just make it happen. And ran out of energy right now, so that was about as perfect as I could time that. I ran out of sprint energy, not overall energy. And then I'm going to go back down. Now I'm on my own. I somehow ended up 30 seconds ahead of them. I do not want to spend too much time broken away because you use more power when you're by yourself, just like in real cycling. So I want the Peloton to catch me at this point. We're going to wait for that to happen. Can't do much more. I'm riding at 60, right? And then once they hit me, I'll pick it back up to 70 or so. Well, 70 puts me right at the front. I don't need to be at the front. Okay, and as you can see, my bars have kind of returned. That bottom green one, though, it has shrunk. I'm pretty positive it will not grow again. I think I'm remembering that right at this point. For whatever reason, for a moment, I was thinking it would go back up. I think I'm thinking of the yellow one. Incidentally, when I say what the colors are, just so we're on the same page, to me, the top one is yellow, the middle one is red, the bottom one is green. And that might not be correct. I am, as we have talked about before, colorblind, and their colorblind accessibility doesn't help me too much. So I think I have turned that off at this point. And there's a sprint coming up. We could try to get some sprint points, although we're not really a sprinter. I don't know that that's really worth our effort. We are not even at 60 with sprinting. So we'll let the tough guys work that out and just kind of hang on, stay in their group. And Yeah, there we go. So looks like Alan Benezik got the last 2 points there. So he's probably one of these guys way up here. Maybe not. He might have fallen off already. I mean, that's what I did. I wanted to sit back as far as I could as soon as it was done. Yeah, I don't know where he is. Nonetheless. And as you see, we're not pulling enough. We're flashing again. So I'm going to bump this up. It will continue to flash no matter where I put it until we unpause the game. So that's something to note. We'll go to 75 for now. And almost always, as soon as I unpause, it'll stop. Then we can figure out where we really need to sit. And the reason we can probably go ahead and sit lower is they were sprinting to try to get that point, 2 points. So the overall momentum of the peloton had picked up and we were going to drift back. If we hadn't paused, if we hadn't touched it, it all would have worked out. We would have been fine. All right, picking up the pace again. It'd be great if we catch them. We're 2 minutes out and they are 18 kilometers from that climb. I kind of hope we narrow that gap and I can get some climb points since I really they don't have me for the overall classification or anything like that on my team. So why not earn some mountain jersey points? Maybe try to make a name for myself as a climber. We're not going to catch them before that climb, though, it looks like, unfortunately. So I can go for 1 point. That's what we're going to do. And we are down to 2 again. So same tactic. We're going to hit that. We're going to hit that. I'm going to go up to 85. It's really, pardon me, it's really a mini climb there. Not much to speak of. And as we hit it, I'm going to jump up to 99. I don't know if a sprint would even do better. I guess it does. As you can see, my bar is sailing down. And I've broken away again. I'm going to slow that down. So 2 more points. Or 1 more point, actually. I bet the climbs are, 5-3-1s for the 4s. So, yeah. Okay, and now we are back. In with everyone else. 74 isn't enough. There we go. And now you'll see even 72. Yeah. 72 is enough. Now I'm able to settle into 70. I want to set a little above the number and go. And then I've got to decide when to use my energy here. Well, this is going to end in a sprint. I have good acceleration, but I am not a sprinter yet. I will work on those points through puncher, actually, is where I will gain my points for that. Here's a nice little hill. So this is a place, as you can see, we've almost caught the breakaway, 37 seconds now. This is a place where if I really wanted to try to maybe do my own breakaway, this might be a place I would try to do it. But I'm not really interested in that. I don't think I can sustain a breakaway well enough. My flat is horrible. So I lose a lot of energy basically because I don't use it very well when I'm on flat. But I think we need to pick it up now because, yeah, they're starting to slide away from us. We're down to 18 kilometers to the end of the race. And I probably want to start doing some individual effort and relay to kind of stay here with this group. I do have my yellow bar dropping and I'm not really a fan of that. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my energy when we hit right before the second bump of that hill, like probably in about 3 kilometers is what I'm kind of aiming for. So I'm going to have that ready. And right now, I'm going to hit that. I'm going to be ready. I will lose the ability to use my slide. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that right now too. Get up to where I want to be as best I can. As you can see, things are really starting to kick. And we're down to 2. I'm at double speed. And that's part of the reason I have trouble timing is I sometimes forget how fast I have it going. We're down to 1.7. I do have a little bit of energy left. They're going to start to sprint soon. So I really need to start staying up there. And I'm going to hit sprint. And let's see what we can do. I timed that actually pretty well. I'm not sure I could have done a whole lot better.
Sprint victory. He was the strongest at the last.
I'm going to have a little extra energy left over. I guess I could have maybe pushed a little harder, but I don't know that it would have, damaged anybody enough that it would have made a difference for me. So I'll take that finish. 22, not too bad. Prefer to be in the top 20 where possible, but we'll see what happens here. Okay. 22nd. I got teammates right there with me. That's good. Everybody finished in the top 34. That's really good for us. 34 and above. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Points. None of us got points. Mountain. I got a couple. Young Rider. I'm in 13th. Okay. And our team, not even in the top 4. We're number 5. Wow. That's intimidating. There we have it. So 22nd overall and 13th in Young Riders. So not a stellar performance on this one, but it's not our strength. We've got some growing to do before we're hitting our stride with some races like this. We are at level 4. Level 5 and 6 are where things start to get interesting, and I'm looking forward to getting to that with you. At this point, though, I'm going to end this episode, and we'll pick up the next race in the next one. It will be a hilly race, and that plays into our skills much better. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks for your time this time. Again, don't forget to vote. Talked about that early in the episode. Do you want me to do a pro cyclist let's play or a career let's play? And they are a little bit different, so that's something to consider. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll kind of start to tailor in that direction, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for your time, and until next time, fair travels.